Hey folks, Lachlan here again, speaking to you from just outside Durban, South Africa, on the 21st of March 2025. If we ever have any hope of seeing South Africa move forward as a nation, there are several difficult realities that all of us need to face, which I'm going to talk about in this video. Firstly, South Africans of all races need to adopt a mindset of personal responsibility. That means that everyone living in this country needs to stop treating everyone else who is of another race as a stereotypical enemy and blaming them for the worst things they can imagine without any evidence or reason. Frankly speaking, apartheid is no longer a valid reason or excuse for black people's failure to succeed. I say this because in August I will be 35 years old, which means that every institution I ever had access to, whether it was educational or employment, was also freely available to black South Africans, Indian South Africans, colored South Africans, and everything in between. I do not possess any greater advantage than a black South African living today. I do not accept collective guilt for apartheid, and you should not be using it as an excuse for why you haven't achieved anything. By the same token, white South Africans need to stop blaming average, everyday blacks for the crimes of the political parties in this country. I think most of us, the reasonable ones among us anyway, would agree that the ANC, the EFF, and now the Umkhonto weSizwe Party are all violent, opportunistic thugs. But that doesn't mean that the majority of black South Africans support this behavior or agree with their actions. As somebody who has been threatened with death for speaking out about these things, I know full well that there is a militant minority in this country that wants violent revenge. They want bloodshed because the idea of spilling white blood in revenge for apartheid makes them feel good. The thought of it brings them emotional satisfaction. But that is not now, nor has it ever been, the attitude of the majority of black South Africans. So white people need to stop behaving as though it is. On the subject of politicians, this is another thing all South Africans need to accept. No political party in this country is coming to save you. This has been a broad problem among our society for many years now. The attitude of, oh, I'm not going to do anything because I don't have any power. I'll wait for the politicians to fix it. They aren't coming to fix it. And no, I don't just mean this about the ANC, the EFF, or the MK. The DA will not save South Africa either. In my mind, they seem far too preoccupied with scoring political points in Parliament, cocktail parties in the Cape, and the dream of a utopian liberal democracy that is in favor of globalism to ever truly address the problems facing everyday South Africans. This is not to say that every South African politician is corrupt or inept. There are some very good local ward councillors that I have met and worked with in my time. But I'm talking about national leadership. The national leadership of every political party in this country are more concerned with their own power and prestige than what needs any of us ordinary people have. I hope that this is clear to you and that you will find a way to work together in order to build a better South Africa for everyone living here. On that subject, I'm going to talk about AfriForum. Now, I don't agree with everything AfriForum does. I think that they often seek to cause trouble and to get attention where they really don't need to, and they bring more hardship to South Africa than is probably necessary through their actions. But I think that the concept of AfriForum is a good one. It is a very good idea for organizations to exist which serve and advocate for the interests of their members and do practical things to bring those interests to being. This does not have to occur along racial lines. I believe that community groups are a viable way forward for all South Africans. Because let's be honest, many South Africans are far too concerned with celebrity gossip and social media drama and not concerned enough with the conditions of their local communities or the needs and the goals that they could share with their neighbors. And so I think that if South Africa is to progress and to break the cycle of hatred, violence, and poverty, we need to focus on the fact that we are all South Africans, no matter our race or our history. I'm not saying that apartheid should simply be ignored, but it cannot define our present nor our future. And for those of you who will watch this video, call me racist or demand that I give you land, get lost. You are clearly not adult enough or intelligent enough to have this conversation. You need to let the big people talk and go away and play with your toys. This has nothing to do with your race, because I have met many highly intelligent South Africans of all races. If I think you're stupid, and I call you stupid, it's not because you're black, it's because you yourself are talking like an idiot. I want this country to progress. I want everyone living here to have an opportunity at a decent and prosperous life in safety and peace with all your neighbors. That is what I want. So if you can't get on board with that, I don't know what to do with you. As always, I hope that you find my content useful in some way. Look after yourselves, take care of each other, put South Africa first, and for now, farewell.